This is something that I think a lot of us might kind of not think too much about, but it could be a real game changer as far as making better food choices and just like feeling a little bit better in general. If your kitchen is really cluttered, you can't get to things easily, you don't have a lot of space as it is, then if you can take some time to make it so that you do have a space in the kitchen that you keep clutter free, where you can use that space to prep and whatnot, then you will probably have an easier time doing things like meal prep, wanting to be in the kitchen in general, if things are in places that are easy for you to access. And, I've talked to people about this many times, but one of my clients in particular this week, we had never really discussed that as being such a barrier for her in terms of meal prep, because she's like, it's hard for me to meal prep because certain things are like kind of buried behind other things. There's a lot of things in the kitchen. There's not a lot of space in the kitchen, and she has very limited space. So I was like, if we can take a little bit of time, which no, isn't meal prepping, but it's kind of like setting up your environment to make it so that you can meal prep and have the feeling that you can more easily, because, again, everything's kind of like where it needs to, you feel like you do have at least some space to do that, then you will make it so that your environment is more conducive to you meal prepping. So taking a little bit of time to actually just get your space where it needs to be. Well, yes, that's not actually meal prepping. It's setting you up so that you can more easily meal prep more regularly. So, and that's something I think I'm going to start talking about here and there more often, because I know that for a fact, I've had a lot of people tell me like if my house isn't clean, I have a hard time like feeling like I can make better food choices. And like when things are in a particular order to a degree, I know we can't always control like what the house looks like, especially if you have like kids, like dogs and like whatever, like things might not be like in the exact order that you want them in or whatever, but if you at least feel like you have some space that is kept free of too many things, where you feel like my kitchen is in an order where I feel like I can go in there and prep, not feel overwhelmed, I think that's huge. I'm not sure if you guys like think about that too much, but I've been working with this person for over a year now, and that's something that just came up this week, and we really talked about it. And I don't think that, we ever really got to like dig into that aspect so much until recently. So like I thought that was kind of a game changer and a big deal that we were able to kind of like, okay, meal prep feels like a barrier, not because for all the reasons that you might think, but because she really just was kind of turned off by her immediate surroundings. So if we can work a little bit on, even if it was like spending a couple of, or like an hour or two once a week, if that's all you could dedicate to that, just, honey, can you take the kids out of the house for a little bit so that I can straighten up, this spot, and like you and your partner being on the same page with all of that stuff, like that makes a big difference. So I just thought that was something that maybe would help someone else today. If you would like help and support on your weight loss journey, I am taking new clients. I also help people just improve their lifestyle and health in general, but primarily people do come to me for weight loss. I take health insurance too. So you and I could probably work together for like nothing. If I'm in your network, usually visits are fully covered, pay, and even if you haven't met your yearly deductible. I hope you guys have a great day.